the reverse power flux coupling.
These are my friends, Mom.
Hi there.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
What?
You're droids. They'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
Isn't he great? He's not finished yet.
He's wonderful.
Where's Data? You didn't fill Data with substandard parts, did you, old man? Ah, that honor was bestowed upon me.
Hey! Hit the nose!
Top 10 droids. You begged for it. You asked for it. It's here. It's finally here. The week's here. We're going to be going over the top 10 droids. My humble opinion, of course, nobody can actually know the list of top 10 Star Wars CCG droids. We don't learn that until we go to the great beyond and pass away from this earth, and then it'll be revealed to us. Ever since the beginning of time, man has yearned to find the answer to this question. And here, I'm just going to give my humble opinion. You give your humble opinion in the comments about what are your favorite droids, least favorite droids. Enter to win a starter deck. Drawn the starter deck winner from last week, being episode 3, season 2. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see the list. All right, got to start off the list with our favorite droid bounty hunter. He is IG-88. Deploy for 5, forfeit 3. Forfeit's pretty weak, but he has a big power 4, armor 5. You can initiate battles and be battled, so that's great. He can assassinate any character hit by his weapons. He has that awesome two weapon icon, which is totally unique. 2 to the power of any starship. Love the card, Dagobah set. Love one of my favorite rares from Dagobah. In a bounty hunter deck, he can easily be included, especially if you're running weapons. Love him. I pulled this guy from a pack a long time ago, and I had some, printing errors, but I've always loved it. I've always loved it, so I've held on to that one. But I got to include the enhanced Cloud City version of the IG-88 with Riot Gun. Of course, it's way better. It's way better than the other IG-88. Still has the deploy for 5, forfeit 3, but still, it has the awesome built-in weapon, which makes the target captured, which is virtually making them lost, sometimes much better than making them lost in the battle. And of course, like every other balanced character, he adds a battle destiny with your other bounty hunter. Insane card. Not a fan of the permanent weapon, guys, but I have to include him because that's super powerful. Number 9, you didn't see this coming. R3T6. Win aboard a capital starship. 1 to the power, 2 to the hyperspeed. And makes the starship immune to less than 4 attrition. Death Star core adds 1 to the hyperspeed of the Death Star. Has so many uses. If you're running a Death Star destroy Yavin 4 deck, it's great. Destroy Yavin 4, destroy Alderaan. It's great because it makes that Death Star move all the faster. Also, if you're not and you just have a lot of capital ships, which a lot of dark side decks do, adds 1 to the power and 2 to the hyperspeed. It's a pretty big deal. And the immunity attrition is great too. The 2 to the hyperspeed makes your Star Destroyers go from 3 to 5, which is not an insignificant thing, especially when you have to move to Kessel and back to Kefex, back to the Death Star. Sometimes your Star Destroyers get stranded, plus the immunity attrition. Love this card. There is the light side counterpart that is in special edition, R3T2. Arguably not nearly as good because there's not as many people use the light side capital starships. Yes, it adds 2 to the hyperspeed, immune to less than 4 attrition. I like it. If it's at the core, it adds 2 to the force required to move, which I wonder how many times that has actually come into play. It's Destiny 4, while R3T6 is Destiny 2, so it has a better Destiny. Still a cool card, like those 2 cards. Number 8, we have the Imperial Probe Droid. Love this card from the Haas set. We all love the Haas set, and we all love the aesthetics of it. Such a cool, iconic card. Deploy for 2, forfeit 5. Great stats. And you can peek at their hand, can be battled and force drain. Only thing that sucks is has to deploy if a Star Destroyer is on table. Obviously, this is number 8 with an asterisk. If you're running ISB, it becomes a lot a lot more usable. It can be used. I've seen it a few times ran through the Premier through Hoth format. It's not a bad card if you have a Star Destroyer on the table. Victory class Star Destroyer is not that hard to deploy. There's a couple weapons for the probe droids that are actually abysmal, but still cool enough card. I'll put it at number 8 just because it has decent stats. Number 7. Now here is a good one. You know, the Bantha droid, such a useful card. You wouldn't think so. But the Destiny 4 is nice. The Power 1 is terrible. The Deploy is 2. It should be Deploy 1. But all your vehicles and droids at the same location are immune to less than 2 attrition. Wow, so helpful. Only your vehicles and droids. It could have made everyone immune to attrition less than 2. So basically, if they draw 1, anyway. A Bantha droids at a docking bay. All your starfighters at the related system are immune to less than 3 attrition. Bad. Here's the good part. May cancel lateral damage. I had no idea. The way this is worded, as long as the Bantha droid's at a docking bay, it cancels lateral damage anywhere on the board, which is amazingly powerful, especially in Premier through New Hope, Premier through Hoth type formats, because lateral damage is a beast of a card. And if you throw this guy at the docking bay, it can shut down an opponent's plans. Plus, they really don't realize the way that's worded. Or when this happened to me for the time, I didn't even realize. I was like, why does he have a Bantha droid in his deck? And then he shut down my lateral damage. Number 7. Also, you got to remember the dark side version of this card, the Treadwell droid, which is somehow they made it even worse. It has 1 less destiny for some reason, and it has less. It doesn't have anything special. It does like the Bantha droid. Terrible card. Awesome picture. Number 7. All right, number 6. Oop, we got the mining droid, the E11V8M. I love how they spell out the word phonetically almost right there. These you can make a whole deck around these mining droids because you lay the mines. Obviously, the vehicle mine and the infantry mine in the Hoth sets are completely unusable. They're basically like you get to shoot a gun once and then you lose the mine. The mine, after you use it, should go to your used pile or back to your hand. Those are terrible mines. But we're going to talk about the really good mine, the timer mine, the one that you lay down on a site, and if you can somehow make them stay there or they can't move away, it can destroy the entire opponent's complete stack on there. If you can pull off the timer mine, it can be devastating. I love it. Love this card, number 6. And I just have to, like the light side version, I like how it's a dome, but why were Jawas selling infantry, like these mining droids to Owen and Ben, and why are they trying to sell these droids to the people in Tatooine? Do they need these mining droids to mine around their camp? I guess for Tusken Raiders, but it just doesn't seem like Beru and Owen are your average buyer of the mining droid. Number 5, EV9D9. This card, you can make a whole deck around just like the mining droid. Power 3. Okay, they're giving a droid a good power. I dig it. Deploy for 3, forfeit 2. Why not just give it forfeit 5? What is the problem with giving it a big forfeit? I understand Darkside's supposed to have less forfeit, but 2 is so punishing that you can't just throw it in your deck, and it should have 4 or 5 is something more reasonable. Here's the good part. Can take Torture into your hand or a Power Droid. That's okay. May Force Drain at the Droid Workshop or Incinerator or Droid Junk Heap. +1 for every droid present. You can make a whole deck around this where you stack Power Droids of a whole bit non-unique droids, and you just stack them on a site. And then guess what? You can drain for 10. Of course, it's easily countered by Menace Fades, and if they're training or can have hidden base and can cancel 1 force drain, or so many other ways you can cancel an Undercover Spy. But it can be a gimmicky deck where you throw down 15 of these droids and try to hit them for a huge drain. It's kind of like the Imperial Walker Garrison from the Hoth 2-player introductory set. It's a gimmick. You can pull it off maybe once or twice. It's worth a go. It's worth a go in the Premiere through Special Edition a format. I might give it a whirl to see how it works out. Love that card. Number 5. Number 4. All right. Now we got the big boy. U3PO. Look at that shiny gold guy. Great thing about him is I love the picture, and I love how he's a light side card. And he looks like a light side card, but obviously, if you don't know this, you're unaware. He's obviously a dark side back, light side front. Very cool thing. They did that with a few other cards, TK4, whatever Han Solo's alternate card is. But this was the first one to do that. And it's an undercover spy automatically. It's automatically undercover. So it's like 2 cards in one. Amazing card. Plus, I actually like it. If his cover's broken, the light side just gets to keep the droid. Who cares? Have him. U3PO's great. Deploy for 3, power 3, destiny 3. I include it even in my all the way up to even Death Star 2 format, Premiere through Death Star 2. I'm going to throw a U3PO in if I have a lot of space. He's just so versatile. What's the worst that happens? They have the K3PO from Hoth that makes you lose 4 force. You just switch his side. You just cover his broken. Good card. Love that card. Cancels a force drain. Super versatile. Number 3. Let's get into C3PO time. So there's 3 different C3PO cards. There's 3PO, C3PO, and C3PO. I'll rank so this is number 3, and then I'll rank the 3 C3PO cards. This is my least favorite C3PO. Deploys for 4, forfeit 5. Only really useful in an Endor deck with Ewoks. Because, yeah, if you have a bunch of Ewoks, it's great. You have a huge attrition pile. You hurt your opponent. 1 to attrition for each Ewok at the same site. That's pretty powerful. He goes to the use pile if he's lost during battle, so that's pretty good. I like that. And your characters are immune to bad feeling, have I, if they're obviously from Endor, Jabba's Palace, or Cloud City, so that's pretty limiting too. So basically only is really useful in a Endor Ewok type deck. Number 2 of the C3POs is the good old classic C3PO. He doesn't do much. I guess just have him deploy for 1. He's pretty much doesn't have a point. His text is kind of weak. Power +2 for each droid rebel pair present. So yes, basically he's power 3 because you're probably going to be running a rebel with him. And his R2-D2 is forfeit +2. Okay, that's pretty pointless. Just have him deploy for 1 or 2. He's a main character. You pull C3PO from a pack, you're like, wow, I got a main. And so in truly C3PO fashion, what a duddy main. He's great, obviously, with other cards like the one that lets you redraw your hand at a scompling place. But other than that, not really that useful. I'm just putting him at number 2 above the Endor one because it's just the iconic picture. And look at his little face. Yeah, look at his face. You gotta love C3PO. Best C3PO, in my opinion, is obviously C3PO. C3PO deploys only to Jabba's Palace site. This is obviously from Jabba's Palace sealed deck. Or deploys only to Jabba's Palace site once per game. When replacing another C3PO, retrieve 3 force, which can be pretty decent. If you're running a gift or something, or you're running more than one C3PO, you might as well, if you're running the Endor C3PO, you could maybe make it work where you retrieve 3 force. Win in a battle with your other droid or rebel, adds a destiny. What a cool concept. So if you're running R2-D2 or another droid, adds a destiny. Great card. R2-D2 deploys for free. Of course he does. They're a team. And I like how they have the slime all over him. That silly C3PO. That is so like you. Number 2. I know I don't like permanent weapon guys, but this is the mother of all permanent weapon characters because he's an anti-permanent weapon character. Adds 1 destiny if with Jabba or Zuckuss. Pretty huge because a lot of Bounty Hunters decks will run Zuckuss and a lot of Audience Chambers decks will run Jabba's. So there's a good chance you'll be adding a destiny if you're running those characters. 4 Lam's concussion rifles. Target may not use its game text for remainder of turn. So strong. You want to get rid of some silly game text, or you want to get rid of some silly permanent, like Han with heavy blaster pistols, who's adding a destiny and gets to shoot. Oh, sorry, no more game text. Just make sure you initiate the battle and you fire this weapon before they fire their weapon. So cancel their game text before they can use their permanent weapon. Deploy for 3, forfeit 3, Destiny 3. A little bit powerful, a little bit power creep, but I like it because it's anti-permanent weapon. That's number 2. So who is number 1? Obviously, it's our favorite little hero. It's our R2, and there's 2 R2-D2s, obviously, and this is number 2 of the R2-D2s. Love R2-D2. Love his beeping noises. He's always getting into mischief. Him and C-3PO, the original Jar Jar Binks and C-3PO, but he deploys for 4. Okay, he deploys for a lot. That's a lot. But he gets to take a gift into his hand, or Hero of 1,000 Devices into his hand from reserve deck. That's amazing. So especially if you're running in the Jabba's Palace format, Premiere through Jabba's Palace, you definitely want to run R2 with a gift because everybody's running aliens. Even if in a different format, getting a gift out on the table is punishing. Also, if he's with C-3PO, subtract 1 from opponent's battle destinies. Every battle destiny. So it's not just 1. So if they have destiny adders or anything, that can be great too. So he's not the worst. Plus his destiny number is 1 or 6, which is insanely useful too. Especially if you're running sensor alters. It's great in a battle. Great in training decks to have this as your final destiny. Obviously R2 in Red 5 is better, but that didn't come out till later. So this was pretty much the King Destiny for a while. Great card, R2. But what is the best? What is our favorite droid of all time? Probably one of my favorite cards in New Hope. Destiny 2 or 5. The original 2 or 5. A card with 2 destinies on it. He's a spy. I mean, the other R2 is a spy too. But he's a spy. He adds 2 to the power, maneuver, and hyperspeed of any starfighter, not starship. Has to be a starfighter, which is still okay because he can sit on board as a passenger on Millennium Falcon and add 2 to the power, maneuver, and hyperspeed, which is insane. So if you're afraid of getting shot by weapons on your Falcon, just throw Han on there, the EPP Leia, or maybe Lando, and then you have this droid on the Falcon, and suddenly your Falcon's at 10 maneuver. And let's not even talk about Red 5, because if you have Red 5 with Luke and R2-D2, we're talking, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maneuver. Plus, you get to activate a force whenever opponent draws a destiny, which is really nice if you're running Figure and Don. If they're running Figure and Don, something that makes them draw force, you're going to be activating an extra force or 2 a turn. Plus, you can also draw a card from the top of a reserve deck. Super useful card. Very annoying when you're playing against it because it's a really versatile card, and them activating force and drawing a card when you didn't expect them to have cards in their hand. They might have 1, 2 cards in their hand, and suddenly you're drawing Destiny and they get to draw an extra card. He can really switch the tide of a game. Love R2-D2. Best robot in the game. Best droid in the game. My favorite, number 1. Tell me what your number 1 is, or rank yours now. We have to have a few honorary mentions. The mouse droid, MSE6 mouse droid. What in God's name did this droid do on the Death Star? I don't know what its job was. I don't know why you would need a mouse droid. It's obviously just a little Tyco remote control car with a little shoebox on it or something. But that's not the point. Well, what would these people on the Death Star possibly need a mouse droid for? Obviously, it cancels Utini effects and something else, but you might as well just put an alter in instead of a mouse droid. Deploy for 0, forfeit 0. Because it's so powerful, they thought we better give it a 0 destiny because, it's a little too powerful. You could have gave it a 10 destiny, people wouldn't put it in. Actually, you'd put it in with a 10 destiny, but you could give it a 6 destiny, people wouldn't put it in their deck. I don't know why they needed it on the Death Star. Another droid. We gotta conclude honorary mentions. The power droid. The light side power droid obviously is in Hoth set. And this power droid is really cool. Power +1 for each droid. So if you're making some weird droid deck like we talked about with the EV99, you might want to include one of these or 2. Its destiny number is 0 unless you have less power, and it doubles. And if you have less power, it doubles your power. Very cool. But the thing we love about this card is the droid type character. It's some kind of freezer and they put some legs on a guy. Every time I see this guy in the movie, I absolutely love it. I'm not being ironic. I'm not being silly. I absolutely love this robot in the movie. I wish there was more robots with legs like this. It cracks me up. It's so cool. I love the E6G. I love the lo-fi. They just whipped the costume together and they said, okay, we're gonna run with it. All right, I should introduce the last of the honorary mentions, the binary droid. I don't understand what this droid is. It's a stove. It's some kind of stove. I don't see how it's powered to. How is this thing powered to? How does it do damage? Like the power droid, I understand. Like it walks around, but they made the power droid like it walks around, and like these other droids, I understand. Like this droid is powered to, and it has a gun. He has a gun. That makes sense. It's powered to. This droid's powered to. I think it's an inanimate object. I don't even think it has electronics or circuits inside it. It's powered too. Plus the game text is absolutely absurd. Anytime you can place it up, place it face up, place it face down. It makes the characters forfeit +2 at the same site. Completely weak. It should have made all the characters power +3 or something insane. They could have really went crazy with this and it'd still probably be not that powerful. But it has one major weakness. Only one weakness. Oh, switch off. Where's BB-8? BB-8 isn't on my list. Sorry, pal. So anyway, let's draw the starter deck winner. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see who the big raffle winner is this week. 48 entries. VD, venereal disease. Problem has always been the sense alter battles that follow all these plays. True. Sense alter just doesn't let us have fun. Wish those had been made unique or lost. They should be unique, they should be lost, and they should automatically make you lose 2 force. I don't know. You don't even need Sense and Alter. Get rid of them. Get rid of Sense and Alter, and I think it makes Premiere through Hoth the most fun format in the game. I'm already leaning towards it is the most fun format in the game so far for retro styles, but you add that into it, I think it'd be even more fun. Great comment. Congratulations, VD. You're the big winner. Whoa! Good job, VD. Now, let's roast a random card. What is it going to be this week? Last week we had that Obi-Wan's cape, and the week before we had that reference to a 50s movie that I never understood. What obscure reference will I be missing this week? Let's roast it. What am I going to get? 2,094 cards. Let's see. Ooh, the suspense. 603. 603. Is this going to be New Hope or Hoth? This is a lower one. 603. 603. We have Tamizenda Ray. Yes, I know the card, but I do not know how to say it. Tamizenda Ray. A native. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Destiny 2. Power 1. Ability 2. As to the power of anything you pilot, your starships may move to the same exterior site for free. I guess that's kind of okay. While at Echo Docking Bay, once every turn may allow a character from Hoth to be immune to the shield doors must be closed. So basically, this guy does nothing. So he has a power 1. Well, you don't want to make him power 2 because everyone knows Mr. Ray is not that strong. Senior deck officer, Echo Base, responsible for Docking Bay operations. You should have made this card actually do something real, like I don't know, activate a force every time you land a starfighter at his same docking bay. When he deploys to the Echo Base docking bay, maybe retrieve 1 force. That'd kind of give him a little bit of excitement. Hell, make him add 3 to the power of, I don't know. Be power +2 at a docking bay, something. He's terrible. I've never seen him ran in any decks. He doesn't do anything. He has a really cool name, so he's got that going for him. He doesn't, 3 forfeit, I guess. Not good card. Tamizander. That's a man's name right there. Tamizander, you're a great guy, but your card, it stinks. That's the episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Comment below. Tell me your least favorite droid, whatever you want. Or give me some episode ideas. Not that I'm running out of episode ideas. But let's just say the next few weeks are going to be Jabba's Sail Barge week. I'm doing a TIE Scout exclusive. We're going to be talking Z95 Headhunters, maybe Tala 1. I know you guys want a 3-part series about Tala 1 and Tala 2. There's a lot of good stuff there, but anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.